Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wednesday Wisdom. As I am sure you've seen already, we have our sales reps in town this week, and we've released a few of these along the way. But while they're in town, we've been trying to pick their brain about some of the species that they keep and are passionate about. So I'm here with Noah. Can
Hi.
you tell us about yourself a little?
I'm Noah Criswell. I'm the Northwest Sales Director for ZooMed. I cover Oregon, Washington, Alaska, Western Canada. Yeah, I love it. It's a great company to work for.
And what animal are you sharing about?
I am really into Anolis. The whole genus of Anole species includes about over 400 species.
So can you tell us maybe some of the challenges that come with that diversity and some of the different care that you do?
Yeah, I think one of the things that, to your point, that people talk about is, or don't think about a lot, is that even though there's 400 species of anoles, they all have just quite different care. They can even live in the same tree, several different species, really close to one another, and all sort of exhibit different behaviors, which is really fascinating. And that's one of the things that draws my attention to them.
If you had to pick one, what's your favorite Anolis?
Probably Anolis small wood eye, which I know ZooMed does some work with as well. They're just really fun, lots of different colors, some real cool blues and different patterning, and then just the behavior with the males flexing their dewlap and just showing lots of different interesting behaviors is always cool to watch.
And then what is the rarest species that you work with?
I think probably Anolis biporcatus or maybe Anolis oculatus are both very cool. You don't see a lot of them in the pet trade, and they're just beautiful animals, and again, really interesting to watch.
Do you think that the reason we don't see them is because they're difficult to breed or that they're just not available?
Yeah, I think availability is a big part of it. All the green anoles and some of the other really popular species that may be easier to get a hold of are just a lot more readily available and less expensive in the hobby. But there's so many great ones to check out and keep.
Yeah.
That's why they're so interesting. So.
Yeah, why? So, more specifically, why do you like those so much more than any other species of lizard?
I think just the vast array of behaviors that they show, and one of the cool things about anoles is that I know lots of people love to keep reptiles and amphibians because you can interact with them and hold them and all that kind of stuff. And bearded dragons and leopard geckos are great for that. But one of the cool things about Anolis is just the behaviors that you can watch by sort of taking a little bit more hands-off approach, giving them a naturalistic environment to live in with all the ZooMed products, and just really watching them sort of own that territory.
When you hear about, oh, they can all interact in the same tree and have totally different care, you're almost seeing that on a small scale when you have those
Exactly.
at home.
Yeah,
And
exactly right.
so since you're just talking about your passion for Anolis in general instead of the care for one specific one, do you want to share some fun facts about a few of them to get people excited about this family?
Sure. I mean, there's so many different behaviors. Like I said, some of them are aquatic. Some of them dive to escape predators. Just all kinds of different color variations. Anolis equestris, all kinds of just different colors and patterns. Like I said. A general care for them is probably low 70s on the cool side of the tank to high 90s for a basking spot. For kind of a general care requirements for all that genus of Anolis.
They're all from similar areas. They
Correct.
just
Yep.
interact with different parts of the habitat.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Different areas within a similar habitat. And we discussed some of the UVB requirements. Where some have a lower UVB requirement and some spend more time in the sunshine,
But
direct sun.
Their temperature is the same. And
Yep,
all of
generally
that.
a similar temperature range, and if you can provide that, they all do really well.
Perfect. And then so you mentioned that the smallwood anole is your favorite, but if you had to recommend one as a pet for someone that's a beginner, what's a good, interesting anole as a beginner pet?
I think probably Bahama anoles are the next best thing, next best pet to the common green anole. They're also very common, but they actually come in some different colors and different patterns, and easily accessible, relatively inexpensive, and just slightly different than your average green anole. So.
Yeah. And like anoles can change color, not to the extent that a chameleon can, but it's pretty interesting to watch like them change their color.
Yeah, very interesting. Males can have some different colorations when the females are around. Males can exhibit different colors on their dewlaps when they have females or other males around, and they're displaying territorial behavior. And it's just really, really fascinating to watch.
Can they be kept in groups too?
They can be kept in groups as long as there's not two competing males within the same area. So you can have one male and multiple females.
Okay, very interesting. And so then you've mentioned a few like really cool ones, but if you had to end on like one cool fact about any Anolis species, like what would you say?
I think I'm going to go with just the fact that they can actually swim and actively hold their breath underwater and do everything from hide from predators to actually foraging and spending some time underwater.
Yeah.
I think that's just a fascinating behavior that, for a lizard to exhibit.
Okay, well, thank you so much for like participating with this. And then this obviously isn't live, so if you have any questions for Noah, ask them in the comments, and we'll get answers to you from him. So thanks for watching, everyone.